What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video today. I'm doing race 6 for the 2024 Go Bowling at the Glen. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. This weekend, the NASCAR Cup Series has the Watkins Glen International Speedway, the super speedway of road courses. A very fast-paced race with a lot of attrition from time to time and a lot of chaos that can take place at this racetrack. It's also produced some really exciting and fantastic finishes. The last time I ran at Watkins Glen, we saw William Byron, I believe, pick up his 5th victory of the 2023 season. He'll be looking to pick up his 4th victory of 2024 this weekend at Watkins Glen. So now, let's go ahead and jump into picks. But before we go ahead and jump into picks, let's take a look at the weather for this weekend. So the weather for this weekend is looking extremely promising. It's going to be 85 degrees high with 58 degrees with only a 10% chance of rain with partly cloudy skies. Going to be some pretty nice and good weather if you're headed out to Watkins Glen this weekend. Now let's take a look at the playoff standings, as this will also be the second race of the round of 16. So Joe Logano, after winning Atlanta Motor Speedway, is locked into the next round for the round of 12. Ryan Blaney's 45 points above the cutoff line. Chris Abell's 40 points up. Both Tyler Reddick and William Byron are 33 points above the cutoff line. Both Alex Bowman and Austin Cindric are 27 points above. Chase Elliott is 24 points above. Daniel Suarez is 22 above. Kyle Larson, after crashing in Atlanta, is 15 above. Denny Hamlin is only 2 points above, and Ty Gibbs is up by 0. Brad Keselowski is down by 0. Ty Gibbs will get the tiebreaker because he's got the better finishing position. Harrison Burton is 15 points below. Truex Jr. is 18 below, and Chase Briscoe is 20 points below the cutoff line. So those are the playoff standings going into race 2. Another big thing to note, there is going to be a new tire that's expected to have around 3 to 4 seconds of tire fall off, as Goodyear is looking to bring a softer tire to create a more intriguing and very exciting race. It'll be very interesting to see how things fall this weekend at Watkins Glen. So now, finally, let's go ahead and jump into picks. For those who are new to the channel, here's how picks usually work. Usually, I've got 2 suck picks, 2 underdog picks, a winner's pick, and 5 drivers you watch out for. But because we're headed to Watkins Glen, I've got 3 suck picks, 3 drivers I expect to struggle throughout the weekend who I think will not run well this weekend. I got 3 underdog picks, 3 drivers who desperately need a good run who I think will have a good run this weekend, are really good at this type of track and under fun equipment. And I do my winner's pick, the driver that's going to win the race overall. And I got 7 drivers you need to watch out for along with the race winner. So now, let's finally jump into picks. Who are my suck picks for the Go Bowling at the Glen? My first suck pick for this weekend at Watkins Glen is a driver of the 19 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, Martin Truex Jr. Martin Truex Jr. historically, over the last 10 years, has been very good at Watkins Glen. He won here back in 2017 and did finish, I believe, in the top 5 the last time we ran here. However, Martin Truex Jr. has no momentum right now. In the last 14 or 15 points-paying races, Martin Truex Jr. is still looking for his first top 5 finish since Kansas in the spring. And he's only had 2 or 3 top 10 finishes. I think Martin Truex Jr. is going to struggle. Unfortunately, there's just no momentum in the 19 car currently at the moment. I think Martin Truex Jr. will unfortunately not have a good run this weekend at Watkins Glen. My second suck pick for this weekend at Watkins Glen is the driver of the 4 car for Truex Racing, Josh Berry. Josh Berry has been abysmal on road courses so far in 2024. He has scored the least amount of points on road courses of all full-time drivers this season, and the SHR cars and the 4 car especially in recent years has not run well even when Kevin Harvick drove. So I think he's going to struggle this weekend, unfortunately, and I think more than likely he's going to finish outside the top 30 and not have a great run this weekend with Stuart Haas at Watkins Glen. And my third and final suck pick for this weekend at Watkins Glen is the driver of the 11 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin has been pretty good at Watkins Glen in the past, of course, won here in 2016. However, Denny Hamlin has not ran well recently. He's been very inconsistent at times. He hasn't had the pace and speed on road courses on a consistent basis. And I feel like the 11 team, they just don't have any momentum right now. Hamlin's coming off of having a very abysmal run at Atlanta Motor Speedway. I don't think he's going to have the pace and speed to contend. And sadly, I think Denny Hamlin will unfortunately end up struggling and not having a good run this weekend at Watkins Glen. And now we're going ahead and jump on the underdog picks for the Go Bowling at the Glen. Who are my underdog picks? My first underdog pick for this weekend at Watkins Glen is a driver of the 50 car for 2311 Racing, Juan Montoya. Juan Montoya is making his first NASCAR Cup start since the Brickyard 400 in 2014. And while I think he's going to have some jitters at the beginning, I think by the end of the race, Juan Montoya could actually be up front contending for the win and contending for the victory. 2311 has been really strong on road courses so far this year. While Reddick has not won, he did finish second in Chicago. So I do think that Juan Montoya, with the experience that 50 cars had this year, I think Juan Montoya will have a very solid chance and a strong opportunity to maybe at least get a top 10 for sure this weekend at Watkins Glen. My second underdog pick for this weekend at Watkins Glen is a driver 38 car for Front Row Motorsports, Todd Gillan. Todd Gillan has been pretty underrated at road courses over the last couple of seasons. I remember in 2022, before he had an engine failure, he actually was leading the race and was up front a good portion of the event. I think Todd Gillan is going to have a really strong run this weekend at the Glen. I think the pace and speed is going to be there for them. Front rows and really good at road courses this year and the last couple of years. I think Todd Gillan will have a pretty strong, good run for sure this weekend at Watkins Glen. And my third and final underdog pick for this weekend at Watkins Glen is a driver 23 car for 2311 Racing, Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace has a lot of momentum currently at the moment. He's had a couple races where things haven't gone great recently, but I think Bubba Wallace is going to be very fast this weekend. I feel like that he's gotten much better on road courses, one of the most improved drivers on road courses in recent years and recent seasons. And Bubba had a top 10 run going last year at this track before, unfortunately, having a bad strategy where he still finished inside the top 15. I think Bubba's going to be fast. I think he's going to have a good chance and opportunity. And I think he will certainly have a good shot and opportunity to, at least for sure, get a top 20 this weekend, or top 10 this weekend at the Glen. And now we're going ahead and jump on the winner's pick for the Gold Bowling at the Glen. Who is my winner's pick? The driver who I'm picking to win this weekend at Watkins Glen. I have this guy also winning the NASCAR Xfinity Series race. I am picking the driver of the 16 car for Colleague Racing, Shane Van Gisbergen, to sweep the weekend and win his second career NASCAR Cup Series race and his first win of 2024. SVG had one of the fastest cars at Chicago earlier this year before unfortunately getting dumped by Chase Briscoe. And Shane Van Gisbergen has been really good at road courses in the last year or so. While he's going to have a lot of competition, I think he's going to be the guy to beat this weekend. A lot of drivers have ran really great who are good at road courses, generally run well at this track. I think Shane Van Gisbergen will get it done, and I think he will officially pick up his first win of 2024 and his second career NASCAR Cup Series victory this weekend at Watkins Glen. And now we're going ahead and jump on the drivers you need to watch out for this weekend at Watkins Glen. Who should you have your eyes out on? The first driver to watch out for this weekend at the Glen is the driver of the 5 car for Hendrick Motorsports, Kyle Larson. While Kyle Larson had a bad run most recently at Atlanta, Kyle Larson's been really strong at road courses, and Kyle Larson is a former winner at the Glen as he has an Xfinity Series win and 2 straight Cup wins in 2021 and 2022. It would not surprise or shock me if Larson gets his 3rd ever Watkins Glen win and his 5th win of 2024. I expect Larson to be fast, I expect him to be a major threat and contender, and I certainly think he'll have a good shot and opportunity to pick up another win at Watkins Glen this weekend and lock his way into the round of 12. The second driver to watch out for this weekend at Watkins Glen is a driver of the 9 car for Hendrick Motorsports, Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott's also been historically very good at road courses. In fact, Hendrick Motorsports won every single Watkins Glen race since 2018. Chase Elliott was the one that started that trend, and Chase has come close to winning other Watkins Glen races in recent years. It's one of his best racetracks. I think Chase Elliott have a really strong chance and a strong opportunity to maybe get his second win of 2024 and what I believe of his 7th or 8th road course victory this weekend at Watkins Glen. The third driver to watch out for this weekend at Watkins Glen is a driver of the 24 car for Hendrick Motorsports, William Byron. William Byron is the defending winner at Watkins Glen from last year, and William Byron has been pretty good on road course so far. In fact, that was one of his most recent wins earlier this year at Circuit of the Americas. I expect William Byron to be a major threat and major contender to pick up the win and the victory, and I do think he'll have a good shot and opportunity to potentially get his 4th win of 2024 this weekend at Watkins Glen in the 24 car. The 4th driver to watch out for this weekend at Watkins Glen is the driver of the 8 car for Richard Childress Racing, Kyle Busch. This has been one of the areas where our star has been really good throughout the whole entire season, and Kyle Busch has a lot of momentum right now. In the last 5 races, Kyle Busch's average finish is like a 5.6 or 5.7. On top of that as well, he's coming in with 4 straight top 10 finishes in a row. I think Kyle Busch is going to be a threat and a major contender for the win and victory, and I think has a good chance and opportunity to get his first win of 2024 for sure this weekend at Watkins Glen. The fifth driver to watch out for this weekend at Watkins Glen is a driver of the 45 car for 2311 Racing, Tyler Reddick. Tyler Reddick has been really good at road courses in the next-gen era. He won 2 races in 2022 and got a win last year in 2023. And while he still hasn't won a race on a road course so far this year, that could change. I expect Reddick to be a major threat and contender for the win. It would not surprise or shock me if Tyler Reddick gets his 3rd win and his 9th career NASCAR Cup Series win this weekend at Watkins Glen with the 45 team. The 6th driver to watch out for this weekend at Watkins Glen is a driver of the 54 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs has been really strong on road courses the whole entire season, and while he's currently just above the cutoff line, I think he's going to pull away on that cutoff line for sure, but I could see him pulling away by just picking up a victory this weekend. I expect Ty Gibbs to be a major threat and contender. I think he has a great chance and a very strong opportunity to get his first career NASCAR Cup Series victory, considering he's been pretty good at Watkins Glen in the past, and I believe won at the track in 2021. In the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And the semifinal driver that I think you should watch out for this weekend at Watkins Glen is a driver 34 car for Farmer Motorsports, Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell was very good here last year, but unfortunately having an engine failure near the end of the event. I expect McDowell to have a really good shot and opportunity to pick up the victory. He's looking to get that final win in front row and will be his 3rd career NASCAR Cup Series win. He finished 2nd at Sonoma earlier this year, was really fast earlier in the year at the race at Chicago. I think Michael McDowell will have a great shot and opportunity to potentially get his first win of 2024 this weekend at Watkins Glen. So, those are my race picks for the Gold Bowling at the Glen at Watkins Glen. Just a reminder, my suck picks are Truex Jr., Josh Berry, Denny Hamlin. My underdog picks are Juan Montoya, Todd Gillan, and Bubba Wallace. My winner's pick is Shane Van Gisbergen, and the ones to watch out for Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, William Byron, Kyle Busch, Tyler Reddick, Ty Gibbs, and Michael McDowell. Those are my race picks. So, that is going to be it for the race picks video for the 2024 Gold Bowling at the Glen at Watkins Glen. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram and support my page as well. Let's go below that and comment your picks below for this weekend at Watkins Glen. Tell me your suck picks, tell me your underdog picks, tell me your winner's pick, and let me know your drivers you're watching out for this weekend at Watkins Glen. Let me know your picks in the comments below. Later today on the channel, we're going to have paint scheme video for the Gold Bowling at the Glen. If there's any more major news that breaks later today, we'll discuss here live on the channel. Tomorrow, we're going to probably have a news video and a silly season update as well. On Saturday, we're going to have multiple videos dropping. Same with Sunday, as we'll be headed to Watkins Glen. And then next week is Bristol, which will be very exciting to determine who will make it to the playoffs for Xfinity, and will also determine who will make it to the round of 12 for the Cup Series. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.